Hey folks, you're seeing me here against the sunrise over Crystal Lake. It's one of the more gorgeous mornings we've had. There's always a thing that kind of happens on the last day that I'm here. This has been a place for me that has always been associated with joy, associated with light and love and play. You know, I remember my mom used to do an exercise with me when I was a young kid. I mean, we're talking like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5, 6 maybe. I think it was in Germany. But we would do this exercise where at night we'd go to a happy place. We'd go to a place where we felt good. And invariably, my happy place was Crystal Lake. I would just imagine being here. And so coming up here was always like, as a child, it was always like this explosion of joy. And then leaving was always sad. Leaving usually meant that we're going back to school. It meant we're leaving the place of play and going back to the place of our normal lives. And it's really interesting, there's it's like two things going on right now for me, because on the one level, I'm feeling that same thing. Every time I leave Crystal Lake, I have the same feeling. And it's funny because the world kind of mirrors that. It's like, look at this day. Look at this unbelievable morning. Perfect. You never leave Crystal Lake on a rainy day. You're always leaving on a perfect day. No wind. Great day to water ski. It's just how it works. So I'm feeling that, and kind of like in alignment with what I was saying yesterday, allowing those endings. As a child, it's hard to, at least in my childhood, let me speak for myself. In my childhood, it was hard to let go of things. It was hard to let go of a beautiful period like this. And I think maybe that's natural as kids. Maybe that's not something we can change for a child. Because, come on, like, why would you not want to stay in a place where you're having fun? But on the other hand, Annalise is a little young to be attached in that way. I think she's had a great time, but for her, everything's an adventure. We're going to go home, and that's an adventure. She can't wait to go on the moving walkways and the escalators in Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. So every next step is an exciting one. Not to mention she wants to see her mama, I'm sure. So there's that level on which I'm just acknowledging that feeling of we're going away, and like I was saying yesterday, letting the phase end so a new phase can begin. And I love the mirror of that in the natural world. It's really like the lake knows that there's another phase for me too coming, and it's kind of giving me that pristine, calm reflection before I dive into the next thing. And I suppose on another level, I am sort of thinking ahead to like, well, to what degree can we help kids accept that transientness of life? Because I suspect that they're naturally inclined to allow emergence and dissolution, to allow the way the world naturally works to do its thing. I suspect that whatever you believe about their, metaphysical, how they come into the world, I sense that kids just kind of get the ebb and flow. They get the way the universe works. And maybe there'd be a way of ushering them through their early life that doesn't develop that attachment, that actually lets that ease of embracing the way, the kind of natural flow of things, that allows that to essentially, not only remain but expand and become a more deeply informed human psyche with those tools, with that understanding. I certainly, I think I work on an intuitive level with Annalise to try and do that, basically just by signaling that it's okay the way things work. I haven't in any way exhaustively researched how one might go about that, or what, if there are strategies for that, which I'm sure there are. And I actually think she's about to enter a Montessori school, and they do an awfully good job of thinking through things like this. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh my God, this is the first time. This is the first time I'm leaving the lake so that my child can go back to school. I've got about 18, 19 years left of this now. 20 years. Unbelievable. And I think that's what I'm feeling too. I'm registering that we're going back to school, except it's not me who's going back to school. And in some ways, school is going to be this massive expansion of my available time. And I think, I know I'm getting older because I'm drawing satisfaction from different things. I know I'm getting more mature, put it that way. Like I spent all day yesterday cleaning the boat that I'm sitting on right now, actually. But it had fallen into massive disrepair. It was just disgusting. And I felt like I was like, I can't leave it like this. I can't leave the lake and know that this boat is in such horrible shape. So I rented a power washer. I got out the bleach. I was very ecologically careful, but I was like, this boat is getting cleaned, and today it looks gorgeous. It looks like a boat you'd want to go out in. And we've barely touched the boats. We may get out today once. We may get one sort of trip. But the point is that I draw satisfaction simply from the fact of having taken care of something and prepared it and allowed other people to enjoy it. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what I remember so vividly. I mean, I remember my granddad out here on the beach just working on every boat all the time, fixing the dock, fixing the engines on the boats, cleaning them off, fixing the hoists, fixing the boathouse, painting the house. Just constant maintenance. And this is a grandfather whom I'm actually named after. I share his middle name. And just clocking that, and I as I was working yesterday, I was sort of I remembered my granddad, and I remembered his devotion to this place and his kind of continuous labor to keep it in good shape. You know, there's a real pride among people, I think it's anybody who has anything, you know, it's not the nautical world, the world of boats, sailing. There's a real pride in keeping things in order, because chaos is constantly coming. Chaos is everything. Chaos is descending all the time, and understanding that, and understanding you're not fighting a battle that you're supposed to win. You're not supposed to win the battle against chaos. You're supposed to maintain the battle. You're supposed to maintain that pressure, maintain the sphere of ordered influence and care. I see that as, you know, when Sadhguru talks about meditation makes everything make sense, or spiritual work. Enlightenment is when everything makes sense. You see everything as it actually is. Nothing is out of order. Nothing is chaotic. That's enlightenment. And people are drawn to people who are enlightened because people who are enlightened see things as they actually are. That's all that is. And that's the kind of order that I see my granddad and my parents and now myself kind of taking responsibility for, and understanding the work that needs to be done and doing it with total joy and total play and ease. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I think that's where I am this morning, people. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Here, I'll give you one more shot of the... I mean, what else could you ask for? Much love, folks. I'll see you tomorrow.